Hello, Bronco Nation, and welcome to another edition of the Bronco Country Roundup Recruiting Edition. I'm excited to be here. My name is Chris Van Sickle. Just to get started today, this is being recorded. Got recruitment on my mind. This is being recorded the morning of the Heisman announcement, and I think it's important to come on here because I don't know if Genty's going to win. But I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's mind that he deserves it. And he's already coming back to Boise with more hardware with the Doak Walker and the Maxwell than any other player in Bronco history. So whether you're seeing this before the Heisman announcement or after, don't worry about it. Just enjoy Ashton Genty for Ashton Genty. What an amazing player he is, the example he's creating for any other recruit that comes to Boise State. So I just wanted to get that out there because I don't want people to have their feathers ruffled if he doesn't win tonight, because we all know he's our Heisman. So that being said, I am excited to bring on the next guest. He plays a position that has received a little bit of heat this season, and I'm excited to talk to him about that. His name is Tahj Crutchfield. Welcome, Tahj. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing good today. Thank you for having me. What's going on, Bronco Nation?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we've been messaging for a while, and our schedules have not always matched up.
Yeah.
And you've taken the time, and I'm excited to finally talk to you.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So to get started, you have been to Boise State, obviously, but you were here for maybe the best game that I've ever been in attendance or had at Boise State, the Mountain West Championship game against UNLV.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that. So let's back up just for a second. You had that was not your official visit. That was just you came just to have
support. My team. Yeah.
Attaboy. When was your official visit?
My official was the last week of September.
Okay.
This year, yes, sir.
And what game was that? I can't.
Washington State.
Oh, okay, yeah, another great game.
Crazy.
Yeah. You hit it out of the ballpark with your game selection for being in Bronco Stadium. So congratulations there.
Yeah, most definitely.
Talk about the Wazoo game. Was that your first time at Bronco Stadium for a game?
Yeah. So going into Boise, I mean, my expectations were already high because, I mean, the elements that went into it, it's in Boise. It's a college town, as we were saying. So but actually being at the game, experiencing Boise for itself, it's different. Like, that's really what won me over. The coaches, the love, the culture is different. Like, being on the field, hearing the Boise State chant is so loud. It's crazy. And then I've been to other games, like locally as a recruit, and I tell people this all the time, nothing compares to Boise. It's awesome. It really is.
And that's one of the reasons I ask the recruits when I have them on interviews, is because I think it's important for fans to hear from your perspective. They make a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that atmosphere, they hear when a recruit comes to Boise State, they hear the fans. They feed off that makes an impression. So if you're listening to this and you're at a game, make some noise, because you're helping the program, believe it or not.
Yeah, most definitely.
So let's move ahead to the Mountain West Championship game.
Yeah.
UNLV playing for a spot in the playoff. Talk to me about that game. How was that game? Was it even more intense than the Wazoo game?
Yeah. So, I mean, already having expectations of the Wazoo game, I'm having the same expectations going to the championship game, but the championship game was only amplified 10 times more. So it was an awesome game. It really was an awesome game. It was good to see Ashton, most likely his last game on the blue. It was good to see that. So, yeah, it was a great game. Also.
And you came down on the field.
Yeah.
And you were witness to the famous goalposts coming down. Talk to me about that situation.
Yeah. So when they first started doing it, it was barely even moving at all. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, man, are these people really gonna like try to get it down? Like, I don't think it's gonna come down. Like, it's it's cemented into the ground. 20 minutes pass, and I'm starting to see it tip over more and more. I'm like, oh my goodness, these fans are determined. Like, really. I'm like, wow. And then they take it to the river, and I see it on Twitter and stuff. And they're in the river too. I'm like, how are they not cold? But it was crazy. It's crazy.
It was a wild scene.
Yeah.
I agree that it took them quite a while. So I think they stayed there all night, just rocking back and forth if they needed to.
Yeah.
Truly one of the best atmosphere I've ever had on the Blue. So I'm glad that you were there
Yes, sir.
to experience it.
Yes, sir.
So like I talked about at the beginning, you play a position. You're being recruited as a cornerback, correct?
Yes, sir.
6'1", 180 pounds out of Rancho Cucamonga, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You play a position that's been under some fire this season.
Yeah.
And it's not just Boise State that fan base that kind of puts that fire on the cornerbacks. It's a really tough position. Truly, in my opinion, one of the few positions that, especially on defense, that is a lot just one-on-one. Talk to me about being in that one-on-one situation, and is that something you thrive off of? Do you want to go against the opposing team's best player?
Yeah. Oh, well. So the thing about me playing corner, the reason why I like playing corner so much is the type of person I am. I don't really like having help. So it's like on the field, I love being in one-on-one where it's just me and the guy. I can really have, because then at that point it's like battles inside of the game. So there's games inside of the game where I could really go against the number one receiver, like start playing like mind games with him mid-game and stuff. Really like take him out his game and stuff like that. And that's really the art of DB to me. Not only just the physical aspect, but the mental aspect mid-game. And then, I mean, just having a high football IQ, it helps so much at corner as well. So I really do thrive on those one-on-one like equations and stuff. That's what I look for going against the number one receiver on the opposing team. Definitely.
And every corner is going to get burnt at some point. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Mario McCoy, who I interviewed early in the season, I loved a quote he had. He said, "You have to be a goldfish," which means you have to get it immediately.
Yeah.
Is that something that you're good at, just moving on?
Yeah, well, so when I was younger, I was playing DB, and that's what I struggled with in youth football. I would get beat on the play, or I would mess up, and instantly my body language would turn bad. But one thing I did notice with doing that is, like, as my body language would turn bad, so would like the rest of the game. So my thing is, at playing DB, you can't say you do get beat on a play or something. You cannot carry over that bad body language because it's going to carry over onto the game. And as a college like offensive coordinator, what they like to do is they see somebody get beat, they study like body cues and stuff to see if they want to keep going after that guy too later on in the game. So like Amarion said, like you do have to be like one play, next play, next play, one play, next play. That's what I like to use. One play at a time, the next play. Move on. Even if it was a good play too, say you got a interception or a pass breakup, still next play, got to keep going.
And you run track, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you think? And let's see. What do you run?
I run the 100 and 200. My times in those, I run a 10.79 in the 100 and a 21.8 in the 200.
Both are very impressive for those that don't know. Track times; those are very impressive.
Yes.
Do you think that does that help translate to the football field a little bit?
Yeah, most definitely. I could stay in my back pedal more, stay in my read step more, really read the quarterback's drop, see if he wants to throw a first level route versus a third level route. I mean, track. Honestly, I think track as a skill position helps football the best. I mean, it's like coming from freshman year, I had no track experience to even just sophomore year. The difference from play with just a little extra speed, especially at DB. I feel like at DB you have to have speed. You have to have speed to survive out there in the next level and so on.
And this season in particular, more than maybe others, it's been apparent that Boise State wants to play man defense. It's one-on-one. They are blitzing. You are on the outside. You're on your own. talk to me about the. Do you prefer a cover two or a coverage scheme or a man scheme? Which do you prefer, or does it make any difference to you?
It really doesn't make a difference, I would say. But if I had to choose in the game what I would rather do man. I much rather do man. I really like to play man. I like to play zone as well, but with man again, it's the battles. It's the game. The game inside the game is what I like to call it. The game inside the game with the receiver that you're going against. So I would say man.
And in high school, did you play both? Did you have more of one or the other?
Um, so I started my first 2 years at Centennial, Corona. There we ran a lot of zone. We would run man a lot too, depending on who we had up front, because that matters as well too. But we run like a lot of zone. But once we got to like the better teams, modern day, Bosco stuff like that, we would go more into man and stuff. But at Rancho, it's a lot of zones. It's a lot of zone. I mean, depending on who we play as well, it could be man. So like those games I have, man, just man, I'm excited for those games. I love all man. But yeah, like we'll have like certain nights where like we'll be in man the entire night, press man too. Not even off man. Like we'll be in press man the entire night. Yeah. Yes, sir.
And this season, we've had quite a few defensive backs racking up the sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Is blitzing something you enjoy?
Yeah, so this year was my first year moving inside to nickel for football. So I played both corner and nickel this year. So I almost got my first sack, but it counted as a TFL because the quarterback dropped the ball. But like it was my first time blitzing this year, and like blitzing, yeah, blitzing is fun for sure. Blitzing is definitely fun. I would definitely want to do more of that.
So to quote Demaron Warren, the cornerback coach, in an interview, he said, corners come to Boise State to play man-to-man defense. And I'm harping on this, but it's something that I think the fans are really interested in.
Mhm.
Is that something that they talked to you about when they started recruiting you? Is how much man-to-man defense you're going to play?
Yeah. So it's like a lot of man-to-man defense, and then there's a lot of like inverted coverages too. There's a lot of inverted cover twos and things like that. But yeah, definitely, man, is a big thing coming to Boise, and that's really what I'm excited about too. Just show off my man, pressing, and just show off my skills. Yes, sir.
To the ones that don't know, and I'm one of them, when you say inverted defense, what does that entail?
So it would be going back to the man. So say we would have a safety, a nickel, or outside backer, and a corner. The corner would be in press man against the receiver. The safety in the nickel or the outside backer we could say will be called an inverted cover two. So the outside backer would play a cover two curls flat look, and then the safety would be over top high. So that would be considered inverted because the corner is out in man, but it's an inverted rollover coverage inside.
I appreciate you explaining that and also already understanding that. That was
Yeah.
pretty awesome. I appreciate that little detail. That was
Yes, sir.
that was a good moment. I hope Bronco Nation learned something as well.
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
let's talk about your recruitment. Boise State 247 Sports has an 88 rating, which is a borderline 4-star prospect. Where were you hearing offers from, and who else did you consider other than Boise State?
I would say recruiting me the biggest BYU, Utah, San Jose State, San Diego State. Those are like the big ones. Arizona State was there too. But yeah, that's my list.
And when you were breaking down your list, what was the top couple priorities when you were picking a college? What did you want to see? Whether that be from Boise State or from another team, if you had picked them, what was going to
Yeah.
stand out to you?
Yeah, really what just like the school prides on what do they harp on as like a team culture. And that's really like one of the biggest things I chose Boise. I see Boise as like a blue collar program. Like they harp on working hard. They harp on coming in every day ready to work. Like no excuses, no way around it. It's work. And that's really like the biggest thing to me. Is like what does a school really harp on? Like what is the culture like at a school?
And when did Boise State first come into contact with you?
I would say 2 weeks before my official. So I would say mid-August or no, mid-September. Yeah.
So they got you up for a visit real quick.
Yeah. It was a really quick process. It was fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much had you known about Boise State even before they contacted you?
Well, so one of my childhood friends since I was a baby is Dante Dion. So yeah, well, Boise legend.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I knew a little bit about Boise just off of him and things he would say, how much he loves the place and the legacy he made at Boise and things like that. Watching him play when I was 7, 8 years old at Boise. So yeah.
So would you say Dante Dion had a part in getting you to come to Boise State?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it definitely trickled on. Yeah, I would say definitely. Yeah.
Well, another alumni helping us out. We love to hear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So after you heard from them, how quickly did they offer you?
I want to say 3 days. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard from them. I think like on a Sunday, and then they offered me on a Wednesday.
You are not kidding about that being a fast process. That's one of the fast recruitments I've ever heard of.
Yeah, it was fast. It was fast. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And upon getting the offer, when and how did they offer you?
So Coach Warren came to my school actually to see me, talk to me about football and stuff like that. And then they actually went back. I talked to Coach Danielson on the phone after, and then they decided to offer. Yes,
and
sir.
how long did it take for you to take that commitment or make that commitment?
After I went to the game day after my visit, so game day was probably Saturday, I think. I committed that following morning. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
after seeing game day, it was like, I have to. Yeah.
Gotta do it.
I have to.
So your recruitment timeline was all about a month.
Very fast.
I was gonna say I hope you appreciate how quickly that is and how awesome it is that you just jumped on that offer.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I did not know that until we just started the conversation. So that is really interesting to hear, actually.
Yes, sir.
You're running track. Is there any possibility that you're going to come in or enroll early?
I'm gonna be coming in because tracks are so how California is. Our state meet is like right when school is almost out. So I think it's the last week of May, and then at that point, it's basically just to come in June in the summer with the rest.
Understood.
Yeah,
absolutely. So you're coming in at a position where we're losing Marion McCoy. There is some experience there, but there could be some room to get some playing time.
Yeah.
How much do you think about that, or how much do they talk to you about the possibility of playing as a true freshman?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just getting my mind right, going in there to compete right away, not to get complacent or nothing like that. That's really what I'm excited for, just to get there to compete, work, and really see how much potential I truly have. Yes, sir.
So you have talk about your relationship with Spencer Danielson. He is very charismatic and in my opinion, the perfect man at the perfect time for this generation of Boise State. Talk to me about that relationship you have with him.
Yes, sir. It's an amazing. He's a great guy. He really harps on Jesus Christ, and that's one thing I try to just even going from Boise coming back home. That's one thing I try to really fit more into my everyday life is Jesus Christ, of course, and everything he harps on. He's a really great guy,
And having what we've referred to in the media as a Danielsonism, he uses the same phrases a lot.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Danielsonism?
There's a lot. There
are. Get ready to hear. The next game is the most important, or the most important game is the next game.
Yeah.
You're going to hear that one a lot. So,
yeah.
So if you don't have a favorite one yet, I promise you're going.
I think I know my family does, and it really is a simple saying, but it hits different when he says it, and all it is just "let's go." But when he says it, it's like "let's go, baby!" Like it hits different coming from Coach D. It hits different.
It has a little extra oomph. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
It comes from a very special part of his heart, and he lives with his heart on his sleeve, and that shows. So,
Yes, sir. Most
I'm glad that you have already built that relationship with him.
Yeah.
Let's just get to know you a little bit more. Are you born and raised in California?
Yes, sir. So I was born in Riverside, raised Riverside, Pasadena. I really moved a lot when I was young because of my sister. So my sister also ran track, so she moved. She transferred a couple times. So I lived in Pasadena for a little bit, Moreno Valley, and then now I'm in Eastville. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what kind of hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not running track or playing
Yeah.
football or
Yeah. I like
free time?
to snowboard.
Oh,
That's a big thing. Yeah, that's a big one for me. I love to do that. And then I think the nearest one in Boise is like 30 minutes away, so it's perfect for me.
Bogus Basin, man.
Yes,
Just
sir.
don't get hurt. All right, that's all we ask.
Yes, sir. I got you. Only in off season.
There you go. I like it.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it.
Yes, sir.
And to wrap up, a couple more questions.
Mm-hmm.
Boys, this new college football playoff,
Mm-hmm.
12 teams that now could move to 16. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Boise State has a chance to play for the national championship, and that's something, we've had some great teams. Boise State's had some amazing teams, but we've never been able to say it's on the line.
Right.
How much did this new system play a factor in you choosing Boise State?
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, it's great that we're able to get in the playoffs and stuff, but even to say if we weren't even going to be in the playoffs, say we weren't able to make it, honestly, it wouldn't have even mattered because the culture at Boise is just so different, and like how bonded they are as a family and stuff. It's almost like 1-0. So it's honestly, yeah, it helped, I guess you could say, but I would still be a Bronco no matter what. No matter what.
And you used a phrase, and it's a perfect way to end the interview. Boise State uses the hashtag, they say it all the time, built different.
Yes,
what do you think, just to wrap up the interview, what do you think that means to you?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, it means to wake up ready to work, wake up ready to be a better, and this is only not just for football, this is for life. Wake up ready to be a better person, doing the extras to help not only myself, but to help other people. And I know like people would, even now when I work out, like sometimes I get up 6 a.m., I'm running, stuff like that, and people look at me crazy. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm built different. So of course I'm going to be different than everybody else. So that's really what it means to me, the built different part. I'm different from everybody else because I'm doing more to be a better person.
And that shows through this interview. So I appreciate you taking the time, Tahj, sitting down with me, working out a schedule. I know that's not easy. You're a busy guy. So thank you. And as always, going into the Fiesta Bowl, go Broncos.
Go Broncos.